Okay, so today we're going to talk about something kind of radical. It's this new way of building software that's less about writing code and more about, well, just a vibe. The idea is you can almost forget the code even exists. And this whole thing really kicked off with this thought from AI legend Andrej Karpathy. Seriously, just imagine talking an application into existence. No staring at a screen full of complicated syntax, no pulling your hair out over late-night bugs. Just a vibe. You say what you want, and poof, the AI builds it. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But it's happening. So yeah, this is the big dream. A complete revolution in how we make things. Moving away from these super rigid technical specs to something more intuitive, more human. It's a powerful idea. So let's see what it actually looks like when you try it. So Karpathy's like, okay, let's put this to the test. He decided to build this little app he'd always wanted, something he called MenuGen. You know that problem where you get a menu that's just a wall of text and you've no clue what the food actually looks like? That's what he wanted to solve. And this is where you really see the magic. You just start with a photo of the menu. From there, the AI takes over the whole shebang. It reads the text. It generates these unique, totally professional-looking food photos for every single item. It even takes a guess at the nutrition info. And boom, you have a beautiful, working visual app, all in minutes. And this isn't just some fun little toy project. We're talking real business value here. Think about it. A restaurant could easily spend $6,000 and weeks of work on photo shoots and design for a menu. MenuGen turns that entire headache into something that takes a few minutes and costs basically nothing. So that first demo, it felt like magic, exhilarating. But what happens when you try to take that cool proof of concept and turn it into a real product that other people can actually use out there in the world? Well, that's where the dream gets a pretty painful reality check. And this is coming from Karpathy himself. He said that while the AI part was an absolute blast, the moment he had to connect all the real-world plumbing, it became a huge, frustrating challenge. The magic of just vibing started to wear off, fast. This is the kicker. Most of his time wasn't spent in the code or vibing with the AI. Nope. It was spent in his web browser, clicking through horribly confusing menus, trying to debug weird deployment errors, and just painfully gluing together this monster of different services for payments, user logins, hosting, you name it. And you know what? It turns out Karpathy wasn't alone in feeling this pain. These numbers from a Thoughtworks experiment back it up completely. They built the same app 3 different ways. In that first column, the pure vibe coding approach, it scores horribly on things like being testable and maintainable, the stuff that actually matters for real software. It's proof that just letting the AI rip doesn't get you a professional product. And the problems go way deeper than just, messy code. When you don't review what the AI spits out, you're introducing massive risks. Some estimates suggest AI is generating 100,000 new security flaws every single day. Other studies show that 1/3 of the code has potential vulnerabilities and another 1/3 has licensing issues. You're basically inheriting all this hidden danger. And this might be the scariest part. The US Copyright Office is pretty clear on this. To get copyright protection, a human has to be the author. So if an AI writes all your code and you don't really change it, you might not legally own it. You could build an incredible $1 million feature that your competitor could just copy legally. Okay, so if pure vibe coding isn't the answer for the professional world, then what is? We're not just going to throw the whole idea out. The solution is to find a better way to think about these AI tools, not as some all-knowing magic oracle, but as something a lot more familiar. Here's a much better way to think about it. Treat the AI like a super fast, super eager, but very inexperienced junior developer. It's amazing at spitting out common patterns, and it never gets tired. But it has zero deep context. It forgets what you told it 5 minutes ago, and it needs constant supervision and code review from a senior human engineer. So if you're thinking of the AI as your junior dev, that means there are some things you just don't give it. These are the no-go zones. Right? You wouldn't ask a brand new intern to design your entire system architecture or write your most sensitive security code. Same deal with the AI. For this high-stakes stuff, The risk is just way too high. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we work with our new AI junior partner effectively and safely without, setting the house on fire? It really just boils down to a few key rules. Well, first off, you got to give better instructions. It's just like with a person. Garbage in, garbage out, right? If you give vague prompts, you're going to get bad results. But if you get specific, give it examples, and break down big tasks into smaller chunks, the AI becomes way, way more useful. And this is a really, really important distinction we need to make. Vibe coding, the way Karpathy talked about it, specifically means building something without reviewing the code. That is totally different from professional, responsible AI-assisted programming, where a human is always in the loop, reviewing, testing, and taking ownership of every single line of code. But look, that doesn't mean you can never just vibe code. For your own personal projects, for learning new things, it's amazing. Here's a quick checklist for when it's probably okay to just let it rip. If you're not dealing with sensitive data or your own money, and it's just for you, go for it. Have fun. It's a fantastic way to prototype and learn. But the second this becomes professional work, the game changes completely. Real engineering teams use decision trees that start with simple questions like this one. Is this a core part of our business? Is it proprietary? Questions about risk are what determine if and how AI should be used for any given task. So this new way of working with an AI partner, it's not just about a new workflow. It might fundamentally change what software is. Think about it like this. Right now, a lot of software is built like a skyscraper. It's meant to last forever, and it's a huge pain to fix or change anything. But as AI gets better, we might start treating software less like a permanent building and more like a renewable resource. Instead of patching old code, we might just regenerate a clean, brand new version whenever we need to. So that leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question for our own future, doesn't it? As AI increasingly handles the how of coding, the typing, the syntax, the boilerplate, our jobs shifts more and more to the what and the why. If the AI is the one writing the code, what is it exactly that we, the humans, will be creating?